Khabib Nurmagomedov told Henry Cejudo that he thinks the UFC should make the fight between Henry and Alexandre Pantoja. As you guys know, Henry has been fighting at bantamweight and hasn't fought at flyweight since 2019. Despite this, Henry is confident that he can make the weight. Khabib said there is no other option for Pantoja. There is no fight. I think if they want some big fight for this weight class, they have to make this. Cejudo versus Pantoja. Khabib then asked Henry if he could make the weight. Henry replied, yeah, I can make it. It's just a lot of discipline. I've got to maybe fast for like a week, lose a good 10 pounds, and then from there just be on a strict diet. Only water. I think I'd lose about 15 pounds. Khabib replied, we have to recognize the real things. Like if I talk about yourself, I think you're too old for this sport. But if I'm a promoter like Dana White, I try to make the Pantoja fight with you because there is nobody else. There is nobody else. Cejudo versus Pantoja is going to be a big name. Bring somebody old with big name. Make them fight. Henry replied, even if he was to beat me, it elevates him because he beat a legend. Khabib replied, you know what you need? Just fight at 135 pounds to bring your body back. When you win this fight, after that, don't try to take long vacation. We talk about legacy. You have to be disciplined. You fight February, March take off, and jump into April training camp. Fight June or July, International Fight Week at 125 for the title. Can you imagine you come back and win the 125-pound title? You can. I'm going to talk with Dana too. Colby Covington posted a YouTube video reflecting on his loss to Joaquin Buckley. Colby lost via TKO by doctor stoppage in the 3rd round due to a cut on his eye. Colby says he believes if the doctor didn't stop the fight, he could have finished Joaquin Buckley in the 4th or 5th round.
The fight, was just getting warmed up. Everybody knows I'm a 4th and 5th round fighter. I just get started in those championship rounds. I could have finished him in that 4th, 5th round. He was breathing heavy. He didn't have much more to offer. He wasn't going to be able to have much volume in those last rounds, so I feel like I was going to be able to take over in that fight. It was a close competitive fight. He didn't outclass me. He didn't drop me. He didn't really hurt me. There was a little cut that happened. I rewatched the film. It was like minute 2, and it was like a headbutt or a thread off his hip or something, but it wasn't from a punch. So, that's the only thing that really limited my potential to be at 100%. It's unfortunate that DEI doctor stopped the fight early. I feel like the fight was just getting started, and there was a lot more that needed to be settled in there. So, it's unfortunate. It sucks, but, it's out of my hands. I wasn't even trained. I didn't even have a training camp together. I literally, I had to put my favorite fighter of all time, Chael Sonnen, the undisputed, undefeated, Westling gangster, as my head coach and switch everything around. Didn't have any training partners, didn't get a proper training camp like this guy. He was in training camp for 12 weeks. He was preparing for the best version of someone. I'm coming off the couch. This guy got me at 30%. I still should have beat him on no notice. So, but, we'll come back stronger from this like we always do. Every setback is the perfect opportunity for a comeback. I love fighting. I love the UFC. And I love proving people wrong. So they're going to be surprised for what's in store in the future and how motivating I'm going to be. I'm going to get back in a training camp and, I'm going to grind like I've never grind. I want to go out on top and, I want to finish my career the right way and leave a great legacy where people remember me as one of the greatest welterweights of all time.
Belal Muhammad has joined Islam Makhachev and Umar Nurmagomedov's training camp. Khabib posted this footage to his Instagram. Luke Rockhold gives his prediction for Jamahal versus Ilia Prochazka. Luke was not impressed with Yuri's recent performance against Alex Pereira, where he was TKO'd in the 2nd round. Despite Jamahal getting KO'd in the 1st round by Alex, Luke thinks Jamahal is still just more dangerous. He went on to say, I didn't like the way that Yuri fought his last time out versus Pereira. He just didn't look like he would follow the game plan. Like, what were you doing? I don't know. To think that you could stand with him and play this karate-style kung fu game, you can't fight like that. A guy that he's so dangerous, you can't fight with your hands down, and you got to go for takedowns. You identified his weakness, but you didn't even try to exploit it. Jamahal Hill's more dangerous. He's got pop, he's got power. He goes for the kill, and Jamal's got funky. He's weirdly athletic sometimes. He's hard to take down. You've seen in the Glover fight, he was able to get up and get his way, and funks his way through a lot of things, and just ends up finding his shot, the kill shot. But like I said, this is a rebuilding process for both of them, and you don't know. But I don't know. I might favor Jamahal in this one. Robert Whittaker believes Ilia Topuria deserves Fighter of the Year. There has been a major debate amongst the MMA community on who deserves it more between Ilia and Alex Pereira. Rob thinks that Ilia's wins over Max Holloway and Volk stood out more due to the level of competition.
So my fight of the year, and I've mentioned on a Unibet video that I've done recently as well.
Yeah,
is Ilia Topuria. I think not only, I think the work that he has put in this year, the names that he has defeated in his division, like Alex Volkanovski, probably one of the best featherweights ever.
Yeah,
Max Holloway, one of the best featherweights ever. Again, two guys that stand out to me in that division so far ahead of the rest of the division. Like, I mean, the gap was massive. Yeah. And it's like when we saw Volk beat Max and then Max not reclaim that title, I and a lot of other people thought, who beats him? Because then Max went back to the pool and just started destroying people. Like, you saw how big that gap difference was between Max and the rest of the division. Yeah. Which means that how good is Volk? And then Topuria comes in and finishes both of them.
Yeah,
I know people are going to point out like the situations and scenarios and the fight frequency and everything else around Volk, right? But take all that away, okay? Because at the end of the day, a win-lose is that, and that's it, right? Mm-hmm. He went into this division against two of the dudes, standout featherweights of all time, and not only beat them, he finished them in outstanding fashion.
Daniel Cormier thinks Joaquin Buckley is very close to a welterweight title shot. DC says with the way Buckley beat the shit out of Colby Covington, he may fight Kamaru Usman next. And if he wins, he'll be fighting for the belt.
I think he might be the guy that gets Jack Della Maddalena, because I think he's
That'd
close.
Be a good one.
Dude, he beat the shit out of Colby Covington, bro.
That's probably why everyone loves you. You beat
bro,
Colby
did you
like
watch that fight? Did you get to watch that?
No, I watched highlights.
Bro,
I watched highlights. It was late.
Bro, I've never seen Colby get beat that bad before. But yes, so Buckley's kind of found his groove, right? Because he did that Conor McGregor thing and it didn't work. But then I thought that the last call out he did, Kamaru Usman, was perfect. I thought that that was perfect. Him calling out Kamaru Usman.
Yep, perfect.
But I thought that Wonder Boy to Colby Covington to Kamaru Usman, if he can fight him, hell, he might be next. Joaquin Buckley might actually be next, even before all these other guys. So I think the onus is on Leon Edwards to either fight Sean Brady, or Leon Edwards should fight maybe Joaquin Buckley, because Joaquin Buckley has a ton of hype around him right now. Yeah. He's got to beat one of these up-and-comers to remind people that he's that guy.
Rampage Jackson opens up on the downfall of his MMA career. He believes he got too complacent and stopped training as hard because he was already a big star. Rampage's last fight was a first-round TKO loss to Fedor Emelianenko back in 2019, and Rampage was heavily criticized for his physique. It didn't appear that he was in the best of shape in that fight. On the Jackson podcast, speaking to Brian Battle, Rampage said, "Battle, don't get complacent with the scales. Always push yourself harder. Even if you outgrow your teammates and coaches, don't feel bad. I'm going to tell you something. With your personality and your skills, you could be a big star in the UFC, and there's not that many stars. It could be your time soon, right? So make sure that you train really hard. I'm talking about take it super serious. I don't care if your friends tell you, oh, you think you're this? F that. You've got to be selfish for a little while, because Father Time is undefeated, and it's going to be a short window. I'm telling you, keep honing in on your skills. Don't get complacent, because that happens to the best of us. It happened to me. I was like, my don't stink, and I stopped training as hard. I did. I was a big star, and I stopped training as hard like it. Bro, you could be a big star." Jon Anik and Ray Longo bet on who is the UFC heavyweight champion by the end of 2025. Currently, Tom Aspinall is the favorite at -130 to be the undisputed champion. Jon Jones is the underdog at +110. Jon Anik explains why he thinks there's actually some value betting on Jon.
Advantage to Jones because of his ability to put people on their backs. What do you think, Ray?
I love what he said, but I'm going to go with Aspinall.
Yeah, Aspinall -130. It's interesting on Jon Jones +110. It is not at all out of the realm of possibility. And I know fans are going to hate me for saying this, but that Jones versus Aspinall happens, but it happens in like 2026. And then you're getting Jon Jones +110. He doesn't compete all year. He still ends the year as the champion. I'm just saying, he has now said that he wants 1 or 2 fights in the next, 3 or 4 years. He said something to that effect. All
I
right.
mean, they're leading us to believe it's Aspinall and Jones, though, by everything they're
Oh
saying.
yeah,
You know?
but
Yeah.
would it surprise you if that fight was booked for, say, International Fight Week and then got delayed to Madison Square Garden and then got booked for first quarter 2026? I'm just saying.
Wow.
Stranger
And
things have happened in the fight game.
Jon Jones liked a post from the Jackson podcast of Rampage Jackson, Luke Rockhold, and TJ Dillashaw discussing what would happen if Jon fought Alex Pereira. They all agree that Jon will do exactly what he did in the fight with Ciryl Gane and immediately take the fight to the ground.
I feel like if Alex Pereira goes up to heavyweight, because there's nobody else for him to fight really at 205, right? It's not that many more.
He doesn't beat Jon Jones though.
I just want to say
You don't think Alex Pereira could beat Jon Jones?
No.
Jones does exactly what he did to Gane.
Yeah.
Alex, he goes shoot straight at dude. He out wrestled Cormier.
Jon Jones.
I no offense, but Pereira. I mean, when he's on the ground, he's not the sharpest.
He ain't gonna play around. Jones ain't gonna play. He ain't gonna stand up with him and do all this.
Jon is the exact fight he shouldn't like.
He shouldn't take.
Yeah.
Well, there's something he shouldn't take. He should take it because he's gonna get paid. But
Jamahal Hill went off on Michael Johnson today on a recent episode of the Overdogs podcast with Mike Perry. Johnson said Jamal's recent run-in with Alex Pereira at the UFC PI was some quote-unquote clown shit. Jamal confronted Alex while he was training. Alex then threw a pair of gloves at Jamal to spar, and Jamal did not put them on. Here's what Michael Johnson and Mike Perry had to say about it.
I mean, that's some clown I'm gonna be honest. Like, why even go over there and say anything if you're not prepared to do anything?
That's what I mean. I feel like that's one of the moments that I try to make sure I stay ready for, like, as a fighter. I feel like Michael's always ready at all times for the UFC to call him, and he'll train for a week or two and then get to step in on short notice. You know what I mean? He's that type of guy. So it's like, that's the mindset. It's like, I want to be ready for any challenge that comes my way. And if I was with Jake Paul right now and he threw me the gloves, like, I'm sparring.
Yeah,
I'm sparring
let's get it
right now. Like, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? And because Jamal has talent, but maybe that's the hard choice, right? That's where you got to make a hard choice sometimes with your coaches. But, like, also as a man, you get them gloves thrown to you by Alex Pereira, you got to go in and you got to handle your and feel better about yourself. That was an opportunity to feel better about how everything went.
It made no sense because I didn't like. Are you walking over there to fight him?
Yes.
Because and then like you walked over there like why? Like to talk. Now, if he would have walked over there and been cool with him, then it wouldn't have been no problem. But now he's trying to get views or trying to act a certain way by going over here and jumping in his face. And he's lucky Alex didn't have a mindset like somebody like me or you, because honestly, he should have got hit.
Jamal responded to that clip on X. He wrote, "Gang, you a and you one of the biggest clowns and pussies on the roster. They keep you around to get slept by debut fighters. I've made more money than you, and you've been here 3 times as long. So I would expect you to know the money game. Find out what it is when I'm on that time for real, for real." Michael Johnson responded to Jamal saying, "LOL, we're not gang, and I was just speaking facts. Work on your grammar a bit before talking shit. I don't go on social media talking shit. You know exactly where I train. If you have something to say to my face, you've been there before." And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to streams getting taken down. The first one's from Chris Cruz 888. It says, "How to remove illegal streams. Make pay-per-views realistically affordable." The second one says, "You combat piracy by making pay-per-views affordable and worth buying every month." And the final one's from ATT1413. It says, "Who is watching this on the toilet right now?" Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.